It is Monday, December 16th. And let me go ahead and say this real quick because I was not going to do a show today. I wasn't going to do a show today because I've been trying to deal with this internet issue for the last month. And I finally got to a place where they're like, we're going to come out today and fix everything up. I'm like, all right, cool. No problem. So I'll do a replay today, and then I can do the calendar review tomorrow and the Celebration Bowl fallout, the whole nine. Y'all ninjas just will not let me live. And since the entire HBCU world is crashing out today, Monday, December 16th, I don't care if I'm blurry. If this particular one goes down, I got my Wi-Fi on my phone as the backup. I got my T-Mobile modem as backup, and we just gonna be blurry and talking mess the whole hour. Because y'all, my goodness. First, and then on top of that, I'm in here. Shout out to Mississippi Votes. Shout out to Mississippi Votes. I'm in here wearing this hoodie. I didn't even have time to get my shirt ironed and pressed and everything. So I'm out here with this big purple hoodie on, looking like friendship is essential to the soul. But in any event, y'all, it's Monday, December 16th. You are locked into a brand new episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. I am your host, Nick Eden, and I have aptly dubbed this show today the Smoke Show. We're not going over the calendar. We are going to do fam topics because I have a few in. One of them partially is the reason I did this show today. And then we're just going to talk. We're going to have an uncomfortable truth session today. Okay. There are some schools in the SWAC and some schools in the MEAC. And let me be clear when I say this. I'm not talking about the institutions. I'm talking about the fan base. And before anybody asks, yes, Alabama State, that includes y'all too. My dear, beloved Alabama State, that includes y'all too. So I feel like today might be, for some of y'all, some of y'all, it might be the last time y'all tune in. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna get right into it. Ain't no special graphics, ain't no this, ain't no that. Let me start with the Celebration Bowl. I'm still running commercials. I ain't finna mess up my check. But let's start with the Celebration Bowl. Congratulations. Congratulations to Jackson State University for winning the Celebration Bowl and taking the title of HBCU National Champion for 2024. I'd like to go back about 3 months when I first started this show. We had the Orange Blossom Classic on my birthday, by the way. We had the Orange Blossom Classic where Around the Block premiered and In the Quad premiered, and we did it live from OBC. About a week later, Around the Block premiered their regular show that Monday, and I premiered In the Quad, the regular show, that following Monday. We had about 3 weeks of play at that point. And I said then that it's possible, the way it's looking, that the SWAC champions were either going to be FAMU or Jackson State. I've been consistent in that throughout the entire season until Jackson State and FAMU played each other. And at that point, it was clear that unless Jackson State completely tanked the rest of their season, which wasn't looking like it, and I said this on the show, looked like it's going to be Jackson State. Looked like it's going to be Jackson State. when we got around to the SWAC championship, I said on this show, well, we'll know after the SWAC championship because it's Jackson State versus Southern. But I even said then, it looks like it's going to be Jackson State headed to the Celebration Bowl. I even mistakenly just kind of preemptively said, yeah, so Jackson State versus South Carolina State in the without, and I didn't mean that as a shade to Southern, but I mean, y'all saw the Boombox Classic just like I did. It was clear then that Jackson State was the better team and that a rematch was going to likely result in Jackson State winning and going on to the Celebration Bowl. Why do I say all of this? Because I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And again, y'all, I hate if this is the first time y'all are tuning in. I really, and you know what, Latoya? You absolutely should be riding high off that win. I am a big believer that to the victor goes the spoils. It was a dominant victory by Jackson State at the Celebration Bowl. Y'all should absolutely be proud of the win. I said back in October, I said, look, Herb Mulligan, I've gone on record as saying this because I've always maintained a level of, I don't want to call it transparency, but I've tried to be as middle of the road as I can and as objective as I can. I've always maintained Herb Mulligan is my favorite player in the SWAC. And I'm not saying anything to anybody here that you can't go and look at the archive footage. I've said this for weeks, for months now. But again, let's get to what we really hear about. Again, I'm not the only one who said this. But for whatever reason, and I'm going to go school by school. But I'm starting with the congratulations of the champs. Now, y'all got to get y'all version of the smoke. For whatever reason, in the minds of Jackson State fans, y'all have created this coalition as if everybody is against you and that nobody was riding for Jackson State but Jackson State. It's bullshit. And you know it is. You know it is. Now, let me give you some examples. One, and let me give you some examples of where y'all have been in the wrong on this too. Y'all were, the week of the Celebration Bowl, y'all were going back and forth with FAMU. And both of y'all were playing victims because FAMU, y'all next. Both of y'all were playing victims. Oh, they rooting for South Carolina State. JSU, y'all did the same thing. Y'all did the exact same thing. Did y'all forget last year, the Mecca and the Mecca? Did y'all forget about that last year? But now it's, oh no, ain't nobody riding with the SWAC. It's Jackson State. We got to put it on our own. No. Y'all did the exact same thing. You did. You did. And not everybody is against y'all. Football trash talk is football trash talk. It's supposed to stay there. And really, it's supposed to be done after the game. But somehow, some way, y'all have taken it as the entire SWAC is against y'all. Let me explain something real quick. I've been SWAC since 1998, and I've seen that we can really talk about, if we'd like, we can talk about them years Alcorn went back to back. Because I can remember one specific fan base. And I was not happy about it either. I did not want Alcorn going back to the SWAC. I was like, look, I need to be us. It is what it is. But to the victor goes the spoils. And so now you got this situation where today, and let me say what I saw last night on HBCU Nightly. I really enjoy watching that show. It's one of the few shows in this HBCU space that I consistently watch every week because it has a level of objectivity It has a level of, hey, we're here forever. I don't really care whether or not anybody likes Tandia or not. That ain't got nothing to do with anything. But let me go ahead and say this. It is not okay. It is not okay for anybody to go in and start attacking people personally or the institution behind a football game. That includes y'all, Central. Y'all smoke coming up after FAMU's. It is not okay. I am personally tired of how stupid we look in the HBCU community when we bring up the Jackson water crisis in football trash talk. Are we serious right now? A black city, a black mayor, a black city council, 2 HBCUs. And y'all got the nerve to pin a water crisis on the school? No, y'all dead wrong for that. Y'all dead wrong for it. I don't like that any more than I like Scotty calling it Pothole State. Because what happens in the city ain't got nothing to do with the school. And if we really wanted to break it down, we can go city by city, state by state, and really break down all the problems with it. Because I'm telling you, if we're doing that, we can do it for all 107 HBCUs. It ain't right. We are college educated people. We have bachelors and masters, doctorates, hell, even associates. There's no reason that we, who are supposed to represent the best of the best, have to resort to things like that. But JSU, y'all ain't innocent in this. I've said it on this show. I said it last week. Referring to Robert Champion's death at FAMU, completely insane, ridiculous. And as a father, I could not imagine what it would be like if I had a child who died in an incident like that, and I turn on the TV, I turn my computer on, I turn my phone on, and I see people making jokes about it at an institution of higher learning. Now, I may be in the minority of this, but the whole Jeremy $237 million. All right, that was foolish. That was foolish. But there's nowhere you cannot excuse what happened in terms of talking about Robert Champion. So JSU, enjoy your win. I want you to enjoy your win. This is something that this ain't 24 hours and we on to the next game. Y'all supposed to ride this out for a while. But all this, everybody's against us, bro, that's in y'all head. Or either you're doing it or you're letting your own podcast community, build this up so that y'all can kind of have y'all session of, hey, look at us and how everybody's hating on us. If that's the case, look, just watch your shows. Watch your shows and go on. And other shows that you don't rock with, don't watch them. There's enough. I would probably say that Jackson State, more than any other school, SWAC or MEAC, has more coverage specifically about JSU than anybody else. It's enough in your universe where you don't have to step out of your ethos. You don't. Thank you. Thank you, Tori. Keep it about the sport. Let's keep it about the game. No, I'm sorry. 85 Tiger Show, you're wrong. And I saw you on there last night. And again, folks against us in real life. First off, this is exactly what I mean. You can't even acknowledge the fact that y'all just shoot at everybody. Yeah, I've been supporting Jackson State since the first damn show I did here. And I'm not the only one. But let's not act like y'all are innocent. See, I was about to go to commercial, but now since you brought that up, let's not act like y'all weren't doing the same thing. I remember a certain podcaster by the name of Abrion Scott, off script for those who don't know what I'm talking about. When Eddie Robinson got hired as the head coach of Alabama State, he just flat out said, I don't like the hire. I don't like it. I want them to lose. I got the screenshots. It was a whole bunch of Jackson State folks in there. Oh, y'all were eating it up. Not the team. You're attacking the institutional hire. Not a football game. Oh, everybody wanted the Rocket Mortgage Hornet shirt. See, here's the reality. The reality is the vast majority of you had no problem with Scotty when he was talking about other schools. It wasn't until he turned on JSU that now all of a sudden y'all got a problem with it and he got to go. That's the truth. I don't want to hear. Let me tell you something. You know what I don't want to hear? I don't want to hear about the Mississippi legislature because I'm not just a person who talks the talk. I walk the walk. I've been fighting. I live in Mississippi. I'm from Mississippi. How many of those legislative sessions have you been to? Stop trying to lump it, the East Coast elite. Stop. Come on, y'all. Stop. Let's not act like, okay, I'm not even going to go there. But here's my overall point in it. My overall point in it is maybe, just maybe, everybody's not thinking about y'all as much as you think they are. See, if somebody said something against somebody, all of a sudden, oh, it's hate, it's hate, it's hate. It's a moment and you move on. That's the truth. Y'all, we're going to take our first commercial break. I'll be right back because I got a whole lot more. NCCU, FAMU, Bama State, Howard, all on the clock. It's in the quad with Nick Eden.
Happy birthday, Dad.
Happy birthday.
I got you something.
We said no gift.
We had to get you something.
Thank you, honey.
We got you this.
Did you do this yourself?
Yeah, I had a great teacher.
Happy birthday.
I love you.
I love you too.
Love you. Thank you.
This is from me
Oh.
to you.
Wow. Hey, Jay, this project might need a bit of zhuzhing. Holla back, Warren.
Please let me know your thoughts. Best regards, Warren.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Amazon Fall Favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon Fall Favorites now.
Hey, sweet new gear. It's like Best Buy hooked you guys up.
Pretty sick, right?
What is that?
That's our traveling trophy. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Ah, a goat for the goats. Fits these pro-level setups.
Last year's trophy.
Not a goat.
Nope.
What if you could get all the latest and greatest gaming gear from one place?
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. I want to pull up this comment because Brandy is right, but I'm in belief of posting the full context. Nick, you just posted that people came after you because you sided with the Sonic Boom about something. You said you understand why JSU people respond the way they do. I want to pull up my my Twitter account. Because you're right. You're right. I did say that. Again, I want to full context of that. Now, when I did the deconstruction video about the ESPN Band of the Year, what I said, because a lot of people did come for me in the comments. They did. That's the truth. They came for me in the comments because I said, let me pull it up, because of course, this is why, like, nobody actually logs on to Twitter from their computer. And is it terrible? Because I do not remember my password. That's absolutely awful. So I'm just gonna have to read it. Let me pull it up here. Which is terrible because I'm supposed to be getting a new phone today, and I'm like, I might not be able to log back in anyway. So I said, it's hilarious how some of the comments are calling me a boom stand because I pointed out the disparity in voting. I'm starting to see what JSU alums say when they say folks come for them unprovoked. Now, full context. Dre, my dude Dre, shout out, fellow Gulfport resident. Nick realizing we might not be making it up. Oh, but I did respond to there because, again, full context. I said, y'all ninjas are not innocent. Let's see what you're talking about here. God, again, I'm with it. I got the full hour. Y'all have woken up the beast. Twitter's not real life. Just sit back and watch what's about to happen. Respect your platform, nevertheless. And here's the deal. I respect your platform as well. I do. It's the God honest truth. What beast have we woken up? It's football, y'all. It's football. What? And this started. I'm gonna get to FAMU and Bama State in a second, because this started really with these preseason polls. Because everybody been pissed off since then. But I want to address this by Sonic Boom. I disagree with the original point. There were a handful of people repping other schools supporting JSU. We know who those few people are. But that's not what my overall point. My overall point in that is that it's more than just a few. And again, the same thing could be said, because last year it was the Mecca and the Mecca. I was at the Celebration Bowl last year. I was there. There's a whole bunch of JSU folks repping for Howard. There was a whole bunch online repping for Howard. And a whole bunch of Epton folks. And don't even get me on Swag Beef and Ritz. We'll talk about that later. But everybody bleeds their school 365 days a year. That's what I'm saying. Now, to this point, because I'm going to transition this into FAMU, because I don't want to just make this up, because this ain't all just on JSU. Let me just go ahead and say that. JSU and FAMU are not the same. FAMU people acting weird in the MEAC, and they started with the BS as soon as they joined the SWAC. We supported Howard because FAMU folks be out of order. Y'all are the same. Want to know why? I remember I had to address this because it was happening in real time when FAMU was supposed to be getting ready for the Celebration Bowl as a fan base. I'm not talking about the institution or the football team. They were doing what they were supposed to do. I'm talking about the fan base. Last year for the Celebration Bowl, I'm literally that entire week, a whole crash out session, going back and forth with Jackson State. a whole crash out session with Jackson State. That's the God honest truth. It was an entire session. And just like they did this year, because FAMU, y'all not innocent. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let's get to it. We're not going to act like your first year in the SWAC. Who created the term Chitlin Bowl? Because that was nobody who was in the SWAC prior to 2021. That was a term that y'all created. Now, I get it. Y'all brag different. And I have said time and time again, I truly wish that all fan bases were as passionate as JSU and FAMU. I have been on record saying, you can pull the tape up. I said it on HBCU Sports. I said it on HBCU Game Day. I've said it on this show a dozen times, and the show has only been around for 3 months. I do wish every fan base was as passionate, but goodness gracious. And when I say y'all are the same, y'all see what you want. You see what you want. And then you say, oh, well, people come for us unprovoked all the time. It ain't all the time. A lot of times it is provoked. A lot of times it is. This whole, oh, we're hating on this or we're hating on this. And again, y'all were the main, as long as the other SWAC schools have been in the SWAC, nobody was coming out. Nobody. And here's the deal. There were a lot of FAMU folks who did not do this. And there were a lot of FAMU folks who actually sent water to Jackson. I want to be very clear about that. But the overall problem is your inability to check the other people within your fan base. Because, see, I can check the outliers. Bro, you wrong on this. If somebody come from Bama State, I got no problem telling them, oh, no, you wrong on this, bro. You wrong on this. Let's cut it out. It's not cool. You're wrong on this. Jackson State and FAMU have more faceless Twitter accounts than any other fan base out there. Any other one. And more often than not, it's the same ones that are calling women bitches and hoes and all this other stuff and constantly going back and forth. And y'all, it's tiring. It's tired and it's played out. And I think the main reason that I did this show about this today is because, again, as someone, and I'm not the only one, but as someone who actually goes out there and does the work, and I'm talking to these recruits and I'm talking to these parents, and they are seeing y'all grown asses online doing this, and they say, I don't want to have nothing to do with these schools. See, this is why you can't go to no HBCU. Look how they acting. Again, this is, and I'm not even put up some of these contents. Like, yes, I will put up this. Yes, it's the faceless profiles bringing Facebook culture to Twitter, because Twitter was, I ain't gonna hold you, Twitter was just fine before faceless profiles that probably largely came from Ritz. Probably largely came from Ritz. And I joke about it, but in reality, it's not a joke that Ritz has ended careers, has ended marriages. Ritz has been around for 11 years now. Ended careers, ended marriages. How do we champion that? Because, again, we're grown. When I got in Ritz, I was 33. I'm 44. I barely, now I ain't gonna lie, sometimes I participated in some of the mess. That's true. That's true. Not to the extent that some other folks have, but I definitely did. But my God, but I'm telling you, the inability to check and then to act like it doesn't happen, to act like you don't see it. Willie Simmons told y'all 2 years ago, man, y'all need to get out of Ritz. But instead of get out of Ritz, we just put everything in there. Erica, I'm going to get to y'all in a second. But let me go ahead and get on my fan base real quick. Let me get on mine real quick. Alabama State. Oh, mother dear. If was a fifth, we would all be on this bitch drunk as a skunk. I mean that. Were we the preseason picks? Sure. So was Alcorn. So was NCCU. Guess what? I ain't going by no polls and no picks and no preseason. I'm not going by all of that. I'm the person who's nervous until the very end. That's where my nickname Hornet Holic came from. Matter of fact, if you want proof, Erica's in the chat. You can ask Erica. You can ask Jen from the Hill podcast. You can ask BJ Jones. They sat with me in Magic City Classic last year. Even when we were up by almost 20 points against Alabama A&M, I was still nervous until the clock hit 0. We cannot, as a fan base, keep going around and saying, oh, yeah, if Andrew Body was... Oh. Andrew was injured at the OVC. If we hinged our entire season on one person, then that's a larger problem with our program. Now, that is nothing against Haynes, Kareem Key, Sims, especially Kareem Key, because he stepped in a time and a place where we needed him. And yes, I will give us props. What we were able to pull off, in spite of not having our starting 4 quarterbacks, I will give props for that. But it's time to stop talking about the 2024 season. And make sure that whatever we have to do to ensure that one person is not the key to us winning or losing, going to the game, going to the big game, winning the national championship, we got to do that. And stop worrying about what happened in August. It happened. It's over. Get over it. We sound crazy as hell talking about what if was. Now, I'm going to say this much. And I mean this. In the process of it, let me go ahead and say. No, I'll put the comment up there. Let me explain something to you. I don't give a damn what Andrew Body never did against JSU. The last 11, I mean, we're going to talk. The last 11 games between Jackson State and Bama State, we're leading. It ain't got nothing to do with Andrew Body, but again, it's a football game. I'm talking specifically to my fan base. I'm talking specifically to my fellow alums. Let it go. This was Jackson State's year. This was Jackson State's year. And I said it from the beginning. I said it from the absolutely beginning. Right now, it's looking like them. But again, don't act like we need Andrew Body to beat y'all. If we talking, see, that's the delusional part that I be talking about. Because for everybody that y'all dominated, it was a 6-point spread between Alabama State and Jackson State in that game. But you won. You won the game. So don't come on here talking. Don't come on my channel talking crap. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Now, so Bama State, let's get over it. Because we sound like we're whining when we do that. We sound like children when we do that. Now let me make it over to the MEAC. Because y'all got it too. Central. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Tandia. Shout out to Shajay. All my folks at Central. How is it that all of a sudden the things that people have suggested in the past that the MEAC do, now all of a sudden it's cool to talk about that? Not because the SWAC was trying to police the MEAC. Not because, not for any of that. But the reality is, what can't happen is, and this goes to a larger point about MEAC, folks. Y'all can't get online and always got something about the SWAC. Someone always got something to say about the SWAC. And then the moment we say something like, well, maybe y'all need a championship game, man, y'all need to stay out of MEAC business. Huh? How that work? How does that work? Y'all be all in SWAC business. Y'all really do. So you got to be willing to take it as much as you give it. And there are people on the MEAC side. Now, look, I keep telling y'all, stop letting MEAC Mike get y'all in the tizzy. But he says some stuff. He says some stuff that does make sense. Now, I do want to pull this up. I did not want to say, I didn't want to make this I don't even have to do fan topics at this point. I got questions in there but anyway, I blame some SWAC folks for buying into that MEAC is more physical and play better football propaganda. It ain't all propaganda, bro. But when it comes down to it, in the games that matter between the SWAC and the MEAC was winning. In the Celebration Bowl era. But let me go ahead and make something perfectly clear. Because again, I've been SWAC since 1998. For whatever reason, y'all don't like to include the Heritage Bowl that SWAC was dominating. For whatever reason, all of a sudden, it's all just a Celebration Bowl and that's it. And that the team that was dominating is no longer a member of the conference. Is there a more physical style, a more physical fundamental style to the MEAC in terms of the actual play? Overall, that's hard to say. Because, and here's the reason I say this. If you got 6 teams in the MEAC. If you drop the bottom 6 teams from the SWAC, we're having a whole different conversation. We're having a whole different conversation. See, people like to talk about SWAC and then they point to Valley. Okay. All right. Or they point to UAPB. Okay. All right. There were a couple of key things that was missing from both of those teams that would have made them competitive. Make no mistake about it. We're not going to act like they were just getting rolled over in every game that they were playing, especially UAPB. And UAPB got stripped of a lot of its players. So let's get that out the way. But if you drop the bottom 6 teams, because the more teams you have in a conference, the more you're going to have, like all this stuff about, oh, A&T needs to go back to the MEAC. If A&T went back to the MEAC, they'd be the Valley of the MEAC. So yeah, if the SWAC only had 6 teams, if the SWAC only had its top 6 teams, if it was just Jackson State, FAMU, Alabama State, Grambling, Southern, Alabama A&M. That would literally mean, as it stands right now, that the 2 worst teams in the SWAC will be Grambling and Alabama A&M. Alabama A&M, who had the number 1 offense in the conference and the top 5 offense in FCS. So, yeah, it is a bit of propaganda about it being a more physical style. That's fine. But we also haven't seen enough matchups. We also have not seen a Morgan versus Bama State, 2 teams that are pretty much the mirror images of each other. We have not seen that matchup as they stand right now. We have seen other matchups, but again, the reason that it happens is because when it comes to the games that matter, yeah, they're leading the series. They're leading the series. So I'm not even going. Some of this stuff I'm not even going to look. I got some bills to pay. We'll be right back after this commercial break. It's In the Quad with Nick Eaton.
Cause love, sweet love, is the only thing that there's just to love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Wow. Hey, Jay, this project might need a bit of zhuzhing. Holla back, Warren.
Please let me know your thoughts. Best regards, Warren.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're gonna make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with hope.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, you're gonna love this. He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, these cars are going fast, I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
I left this goofy ass comment up here for a reason. I'm not fooling with y'all today. What the world needs. No, I'm not doing that. Anyway, welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. The Smoke Show, the Crash Out episode. All right. Let me go ahead and say this. Oh, wait. Because I kind of went full Miak and not Howard. Now, Erica, you know I love you, honey. And you know I have a special place for Howard in my heart. That's the truth. You be the main one starting mess. You be the main one starting mess. You're so nice when you do it, but you be the main one starting mess. And Howard got some things to listen. Howard got some things they need to take care of, and one of the main thing is reining in y'all's one of y'all's more prominent and featured alum, Jay Walker, because that man don't need to call another damn. No more games. No more games for Jay Walker. I need Howard to handle that first. Get him squared away. Do that for me. Okay. Get that thing. Now, let me say this about this backlash on the HBCU podcast community. Y'all pick and choose who y'all want to like and dislike at different times. I've been told that I run a propaganda show when I barely talk about Alabama State on this show. And I do that purposely. Again, it depends on who y'all like at that time. And let me go ahead and say this about Scotty. Somebody said earlier, and it's too many comments for me to go back and pull it up, but somebody said earlier that, the Bama State heat was already hot. We weren't supporting Scotty like that. Yes, y'all were. Like, I hope y'all know that these shows are still there. They still exist in this ethos. They can still be seen. But it's not just Jackson State, because that's the other thing. A lot of people seem to think Jackson is just Jackson State. No, it's not just them. You got half of FAMU that love him, half of FAMU that hate him, all the PV that hate him except for Lionel. Look, it's 12/16. Celebration Bowl was Saturday. Per his statement, he's done with this space. He's gone. So what y'all still complaining about? He's gone. And I'm not talking to just JSU folks. I'm talking about everybody in HBCU Twitter world that gets in a tizzy about one dude with a podcast mic. He gone now. But let me ask you a question. And this is the real part here. I don't care who I piss off with this. Is it that you don't like him talking bad about HBCUs? Or is it you don't like our dirty laundry being aired? Is it that we want to gatekeep this stuff? Is it that we don't want anybody to know the things in our ethos that are in complete turmoil and need to be addressed? Would y'all be okay if I talked about some of the things that needed to be done? I got my SWAC hours. The stuff still needs to be said. Things still need to be exposed. A lot of contracts need to be torn up and renegotiated. And a lot of students that did not have a voice before feel like they have one now, because there's a reason, whether you like it or not, there's a reason that those students will reach out to him. I want you to put yourself back in your undergrad years. Okay? I want you to put yourself back in your undergrad years and think about, because we all had them. None of us had a 100% positive experience at our HBCUs. Let's stop the cap. Let's stop the cap. I want you to go back and I want you to think about in those moments when we didn't, because a lot of us are old, we didn't have social media. We didn't have a voice to get things out there like that. If you were an undergrad at your HBCU and something was being swept under the rug that you felt like should not have been, would you have texted that number? Be real with yourself. Be real with yourself. I'm just saying. So, all right. So let me put, since it's 40 comments, 40 new comments. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Boys, I'm going to pull this comment back up in just a second. But wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Israel, first off, brother, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Dr. Carey, shout out to you first. That's first. I want to applaud you on that, brother. You didn't like his generalizations. I'm spending the rest of this time kind of going through these comments. You didn't like his generalizations. Y'all was retweeting them generalizations saying that Bama State was ghetto after the fight. I'm just saying, we got to keep energy going here. Going as far as contacting ESPN about bullshit is crazy. Listen, again, there was an actual investigation going on. And I said on this very show that the problem I have with all of this is if there was an investigation, the SWAC should have come out and said, hey, we're conducting an investigation. Jackson State has been compliant with us through this entire time. We didn't find anything. And then all of that would have been dead. If there were not an investigation, hey, we see nothing credible here. But they stayed quiet until the ESPN article came out. And that's what I mean about airing dirty laundry. We have leadership who will not get to the forefront of this stuff. They could have knocked all this stuff out week one. Week one. Said, lay to death, my dude. Dirty Laundry dude tried to run with the narrative against stealing against JSU, so now he's an actual journalist. Oh, I get it now. All right, let's be real. That's been in the last month. This has been going on for 4 years. So you know what I mean when I say it's not just this time. This is what I mean, y'all. This is exactly what I mean. But let's not act. And I know Doc was in there, hey, Doc, tell me if I'm wrong. There's a whole bunch of people that have platforms now that used to call into his show. They had platforms in. What I'm saying is that there was a ton of JSU support. There was. I'm not, listen, my black plan, look, okay, I'm old because I'm going to say something right now. College Club is the reason I almost had kids earlier than I did. I ain't going to even hold you. And even if UAPB didn't want to make it public, it still comes down to the leadership of the conference. See, at a certain point, there has to be leadership. Somebody has to be the leader and step up and be the leader in there. So all I'm saying is, and this is what I mean. I want everybody to look, and for what it's worth, me and Sid are cool. I like Sid. Actually, I like Sid a lot. But this is what I mean. Cameras clearly showed that Bama State guys started to fight, even spitting on players. So that's okay to call the institution ghetto? That's what I mean about generalizations. I want everybody to see this comment because this is exactly what I mean. And again, I've been SWAC a long time. It's been more than one fight between JSU and Bama State. From the football team, the choir, the band. I got hit with a trombone back in, 98 or 99? I mean, if we really want to get to talking, y'all not, because in this regard, I can see where SWAC Hour's playing this. Y'all ain't talking about Scotty. I've been there for over 20 years. So my point in all of this is that people see what they want to see. People see what they want to see and then ignore the rest when it comes to their institutions. And then you get mad when somebody else does it, which is why the smoke was for everybody. Bishop, I'm about to boot you. Matter of fact, Brandy, okay, we got 4 minutes left. I'd like to know what Brandy said. And I'm sorry, I booted Bishop. Sorry. See, I ain't gonna. I've said this time and time again. I don't care, but one person on here. I don't care if one person is watching on here. You get booted. It is what it is. At me, I don't care. I don't know which y'all. It's a lot of comments, and I don't know which one. What is Brandy talking about? Okay, gotcha. All right. What changed as a result of his show? What has he done that's so positive? Can we focus on that? I know it to be a fact from several coaches that I've spoken with that his tape review. Yeah, that's what I'm answering now. His tape review of a lot of those students did get people put on radars. The situation with Virginia University in Lynchburg when the players were under terrible conditions and he was the only one that talked about it. Yeah, there was positivity from that. What I'm saying is that's the thing about it. It ain't just about y'all. I love you, but it's not just about y'all. There's a reason that parents reach out to him and students reach out to them, because he's given a voice where people generally have not had one. And you don't have to, I'm not saying that you got to like him, but here's the other part. Don't watch him. You know, when there's something that I don't like, I don't watch it. Okay. Yeah, okay, this one is new to me. This one is new to me. I have no idea about Coach O's clothes being stolen at Bama State. I have no clue. This is quite literally the first time I've heard about it. I will ask about it. But I have no clue. I have no clue. Who stole his clothes at Alabama State? Are we sure that that's what was done? Because again, it's the first time I'm hearing it. Because I can also remember, and I'm not being funny when I say this, I can also remember when someone that was formerly the coach at Jackson State said that there were that their items were stolen out of their office, and that wasn't the case. And I remember going to bat for it. So this is the first time I'm here. I don't watch Ken's show like that. I don't. I'm sorry. Love Ken. I retweeted I don't watch his show because I'm not a Jackson State alumnus, and so I'm not going to sit there and watch it. Somebody, please, if you could send me the link. But this was I know this was never brought up to Alabama State. I know that much because it would have been addressed. Because one thing that y'all cannot deny when it comes to Bama State, we will absolutely address it and address it in real time. So, but it's the first time. I would love to get that, and I'll text Ken. And my point is this. Well, you're right. You're not Alabama State alum, and you're watching me, and I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who watches me. I appreciate everybody who watches me. This show is not an Alabama State show. KC 14100 is a Jackson State show. That's the truth. Again, I don't run a propaganda channel. My show on HBCU Plus is about HBCUs as a whole. So nice try to comment, but you're not watching the Hornaholic podcast. Anyway, y'all, listen, my overall point is this. Football season is over. Schools that are not Jackson State University. That's a media term. It's a media term. Schools that are not Jackson State University allow, this ain't y'all time, that when it comes to football and the HBCU National Championship, because if it were any one of us, we would most definitely be talking about this national championship for months and years at a time. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm getting out the comments because y'all killing me. This is their time. Jackson State is your 2024 HBCU national champion team. To the victor goes the spoils. So stop coming in there mentions about the game and the conditions of the game. And if was a fifth, it was, because the reality is, and I said this, it was supposed to be 42-7. They dominated that game. They did. Give them their props for that. Everybody else concentrate on the other sports that we have now and rebuilding and recruiting for the fall. Because we're going to start this all over again in the fall. JSU, enjoy your victory. That's what you're supposed to do. But I got to be honest. Sometimes y'all really do make the shit like it's all about y'all, and it's not always about y'all. Everybody's not pressed about y'all all the time. But above all else, can we please act like adults? It should never go past sports trash talk. Attacking the institutions is completely ridiculous. And everybody does it, and everybody needs to stop. Because what's happening is, let me ask you a question. What do you think happens when the next Scotty comes in, or the next ESPN article, or the next person who is not of our culture comes in? The only reason they have ammo is because we've given it to them. So stop giving it to them. If you don't like a show, don't watch it. Y'all spend more time retweeting somebody that says a dumb take about HBCUs or about... Stop feeding their algorithms, because they're going to keep doing it because it keeps feeding the money. We have to get to a point where if we're truly going to gatekeep this thing, if we're truly going to gatekeep this thing, then don't feed the algorithms of those who would bring us down. And whoever you think that might be, whether I agree with you on that or not, whoever you think that might be, just stop. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Y'all, if you have not already downloaded the UEN app, please do. It is free. Don't forget, the HBCU Plus app has been discontinued. The UEN app, this is streaming on the In the Quad channel. Yeah, your boy got his own channel. This is streaming on the HBCU Plus channel as well as In the Quad channel. There is plenty of content there from the HBCU AC, the NAIA, Florida Memorial, the NBA G League. Follow us on all social platforms. And again, congratulations to the Tigers. I told y'all last week the SWAC was going to win it. Holla!